Alrighty, fellas. Good morning. Good morning. It's a Thursday. We don't have too much planned aside from we have a bit planned. Dude, I'm excited. We're gonna be hopefully maybe not finishing, but maybe getting to the Elite Four. I think we will be actually getting to the Elite Four today on this account, which is super exciting. Once we get 8 gym badges, this account should officially be unshiny locked, which is a massive deal. So that's super big. Permanently unshiny locked, never to be locked. No, that's hype. That's awesome. So that's like a weight off my shoulder. Get that taken care of. Yeah. Also, we have a lot of Pokeyen, dude. Like, we're 6 gym badges in, and we have 111k on this account. Dude, storylines are kind of dope. Storylines are actually kind of like not bad. Like, in terms of Pokeyen per hour, just making the Pokeyen from the trainers on top of having accounts to do more berry farm runs with, to do more Jimmy runs. Like, I feel like someone should look into calculating, maybe myself, the Pokeyen you make per hour of like creating accounts. That could be a really, really big deal. It's super, super sick. So we're going to be finishing... or not finishing, but working more aggressively on the storyline progress today. We're gonna be hopping over to the main account. I'm gonna be doing Twitch rewards, which I love talking about. Twitch rewards are essentially, you watch my stream on Twitch, you get these fake points, you redeem those fake points for real Pokemon in PokeMMO, which is really cool. So check that out. That's a lot of fun. Patrouski OT Pokemon. And then we might do some rare shunting. However, I talked about this yesterday. I don't have donor status on my main account right now, and I have a ticket. I could redeem a new one. I like saving it for, I'm just hyper efficiency brain. Like, I don't want to pop a donor status and then not be on the account for like the whole weekend, right? So I'm either going to save that until Monday, or we'll save that for until I actually want to go hard and hunt for that and break that streak again on the main account. So we'll do that at some point. For now, it's storyline time. Let's go work on Blaine. Your encounter counter's not at 60k anymore. What did you get? I just have different encounter counters for different accounts. That's a very good question. Some people organize their encounters like that. Some people don't. It really just up to personal preference on how you want to do your encounter counter. Did you see T Mister got 2 Shiny Dex entries in the last couple of days? I saw the Anarith on stream, but I didn't hear about the Sock, I think, until after stream or some shit. That's a really big deal. Like, for those, like, when, man, T Mister has been like trying to complete Shiny Pokedex for a very long time, like, to all of a sudden complete 2 Dex entries within 2 days after going like months and months and months, you know, dry. Like, that's, man, the big difference, you know. That is super cool to see that. I will say doing this storyline on stream has really made me want to like do other longer-ish term projects, because this didn't even take that long. Like the Nuzlocke, for example, was a really fun project I did, but that was a pain in the ass to go back and like edit together. That was a lot longer of a thing, but like this only took like a week or so, maybe like 2 weeks, maybe like a week to a week and a half of streams. Like, nothing crazy to be able to complete the Kanto storyline and also do other things on stream. So like, I think I would love to do bigger projects like this, have stream recaps on the daily, but then also do like bits and pieces of bigger projects passively in the background as well would be incredible. I'm in a bad position here in this fight. That's a great question. Do you think Alpha Zorua will come back next Halloween, or do you think it was a one-time thing? I think something like that would probably come back. I could be wrong, obviously, but I think something like the Alpha Zorua encounter, certain like little niche special, I think that'll come back personally, but obviously I could be wrong. Ooh, we barely live there. That's perfect. Dude, this is so cool. So Remeru in chat just said this. Oh, it's beautiful. He just casually mentioned in chat, he was like, oh yeah, by the way, I hatched a Pumpkid particle effect Shiny Larvesta recently. So if you don't know, oh my god, it has all the particle effects. I love when people egg hunt for shinies like this. So these are all limited particle effects that were only available to be gotten by defeating the boss of that year's event, right? So to retroactively get all of these on a new egg shiny, you have to like go breed a bunch of Larvestas, like multiple Larvestas, breed a bunch of expensive limited time particles on. You can never like put these particles onto them afterwards. That has to be like, you have to get like 300 Larvestas, for example, with these particles, all of these, which is really hard to do and really expensive alone, and then rebreed those over and over and over again with Dittos. This kind of egg hunt is really impressive. People who do this, it's underhyped, because that stuff is super cool. Technically, you can breed it on afterwards, but Pumpkin Shiny is like 100 mil. Yes, that is true. Sorry, I probably should have been more clear about that. You can always breed particle effects onward after, but they're really expensive to do so. So if you hatch it with them preemptively, you'd save a lot of Pokeyen, like hundreds of millions. Particle effects like that are why one of the most secret, best money-making methods, right? Okay. One of these secret best money making methods. You can do this with normal Dittos or Shiny Dittos. Shiny Dittos is way crazier, right? But if you buy a Shiny Ditto, right? If you buy a Shiny Ditto and then do the events with the Shiny Dittos in your party, you'll get the particle effect on them, right? So let's just check. Let's check, like, let's do one of them. Let's do the, like, what's one rare particle effect? Which of these is... I need to check the Larvesta again. Sorry, apologies. Let's make sure I get the name correct. Let's do the Pumpkins one. Pumpkin Treat. Pumpkins Treat. Let's see where it's at. Sorry, here it is. Okay. Let's see if any of... Well, there's none that exist. Okay, let's check for... Let's check for King's Fall. A more recent one, right? Does anybody have a King's Fall Shiny Ditto? Cheapest one is 9 mil. So if you... That's crazy. If you bought a Ditto... If you bought a Shiny Ditto... Right? And like, it was like a year or two ago. If you bought a Shiny Ditto, you did the event with it in your party, you were increasing the price of each Shiny Ditto per spot in your party by 3 million Pokeyen. How crazy is that? Monkey Business sniped a Pumpkin Shiny Ditto and sold it for 200 mil. Holy, like, that's insane. Like, it is crazy the things you can do with these, like, weird, underrated, specific, unique particle effects. That is, yeah, that's crazy. It would be cool to be able to fly to other regions. Granted, I have the fly HM in those regions. I think stuff like that is a cool idea in theory, but then you think about, like, there's two things that I have issue with it, right? Number one, I kind of like the docks. I think the docks make for a really interactive, kind of fun experience. Obviously, it's a little slower than being able to directly fly to different cities and stuff across the regions, but I think the docks are cool. I think it gives a little more like in-lore, in-universe feeling of like changing regions. Now, do I really appeal to in-universe feeling and lore in PokeMMO to like not change something? No, I wouldn't do that. But the other thing is the pragmatic answer, right? So having to like click the fly button, even on Kanto, if you've flown between the islands and stuff in Kanto, you know it's kind of a pain, right? You have to like press enter to cycle through all of the islands and all the stuff like that. Like, imagine if you had to like press enter to switch through like all of the regions plus the islands. Like, it would just be a pain to like cycle through them all, and getting the UI correct for being able to fly around to every single city and 1 to 5 generations of Pokemon would be kind of a huge pain in my opinion. Plus, the fact that people hang out in port towns is also pretty cool. Yes, if you could directly fly to like whatever city, it kind of removes that little aspect of community. And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, for those who want to watch me do a catch event, upcoming this Saturday, I'll actually be doing, I'll be streaming Saturday, live on the weekend, doing a Team Mr. Catch event, where the first half of the event is catching Munchlaxes and Executes, and the second half of the event is a Metronome tournament. So if you want to see some chaotic PvP, quote-unquote PvP, a Metronome tournament, and then a catching event, come check it out Saturday. I think it'll be at, I forget what time, probably like 1 p.m. or something Saturday, I think. All right, we just beat Giovanni on our only Shinies account, which means we're finally un-Shiny locked, which is a really, really fantastic feeling. And we can then go ahead and go do the Elite Four whenever we're ready to. The most annoying part is going to be Victory Road. Pat, what do you think of an auction event in PokeMMO? I think auctions are super, super cool and underrated in PokeMMO. I've walked into a couple of them. The problem is, they're really fun for the buyers, but kind of tough for the sellers. It's not always like, usually people go to auction, they're looking for a deal, number one, and number two, you're not always going to have like the most amount of like people to be able to like bid on the right things. Like, auctions can be, I think auctions are hard weighted towards the buyers in PokeMMO. But I've gone to some really fun auctions, honestly, and seen people like, it's just fun as people like yell at the prices. Like, it's honestly a huge blast in my opinion. But what definitely benefits the buyers more than the seller. Raffles on the forums are a different thing that sort of, in my opinion, benefit the seller more than the buyer, which is they kind of benefit both, honestly. Raffles are like, let's say you have a shiny Tentacruel that's worth 2 million Pokeyen. Right? And let's bring up our calculator. Let's say you sell, let's do, I don't know, 100 tickets. That's kind of a lot, but let's say you sell 100 raffle tickets and they're 20K a piece, right? So And then you have like a maximum of like, oh, if you want to buy like the max you can buy is like 5 raffle tickets. So like if someone buys 5 raffle tickets, which is the max, they could win a shiny tentacruel for 100k Pokeyen, which is really cool because obviously then they hugely profit. So this is like a win-win because normally when you do raffles, number one, the person who is selling the Pokemon can get literally even more Pokeyen than it's worth, which is awesome. Number two, a lot of other people have the chance to gamble, which is not great, but it's a lot of fun, honestly, and get a huge steal and get Pokemon for less, right? But however, reality is most of the time a bunch of people lose in a raffle, but even then when they're losing, they're not losing that much, so they're kind of okay with doing it, if that makes sense. I think that stuff can be a lot of fun. Raffles are super cool, but the devs have to kind of help host them and stuff. You can't just do one willy-nilly on the forums. Oh, that sucked. Woodhammer, really? So they are kind of a tough thing. Now, wait, speaking of cloister and stuff, so this is like this is a tip that I would give. Maybe Spidget will disagree, a better PvPer than me, but like a tip that I would give to new PvPers and new PokeMMO, like, you know, PvP players, right? Dude, I would just rock a Shell Smash Cloister lead. I feel like leading Shell Smash Cloister is one of the cheesiest way to get free wins in PokeMMO PvP. If you just fucking Shell Smash up and they can't answer it, like you get so much value, or just sweep. In my Road to PokeMMO PvP season, the one where I made the PvP team and like had that challenge or whatever, one of the Pokemon I made was a Cloister. I made a bunch of Pokemon in that season that I knew like were very powerful and would do very well and wouldn't be that hard to pilot, which is very nice. Lose to Vloistern? What is Vloistern? Oh, is that Volcarona Cloister? What is that? That's a crazy name combination. Is that what that is? What is Vloistern? No, I just meant Cloister. I'm just on the phone. Oh, you just you just mistyped Vloistern. I thought that was some like Gigabrain like PvP like terminology that I just didn't know. And alrighty, with that we are done our storyline progress for the day on the alt account. Let's head over to the main account and do a little bit of let's egg hatch the rest of these. Why don't we? We've got a few eggs left. Let's go ahead and get cooking. Wait, that's actually so funny. I'm buying Shuckles to breed them for Twitch rewards, and one of the ones I randomly bought off the GTL because it had good stats is Abenbag. That's really funny. For those who don't know, Abenbag is the person who makes like all of my meme mods. Like this, for example. What are the odds, dude? That's so funny. Dude, I actually breed so much for profit. Wasn't it like a few streams ago I went and I bought like 15 of each breeding brace? And this is what I have left. 9 special attack ones and 1 HP. That's it. I used like all of those braces on breeds. All right, someone redeemed Zen Mode Darmanitan, and I actually don't, for like Twitch rewards. I don't know how to do this exactly, so we're gonna head over to the desert resort and see if we can figure this out. This is the totally wrong location. We need to head over here, over to Relic Castle. So I know that you need rage candy bars to be able to encounter them, and then I assume, do you just encounter them in that Zen form? Like, I don't know if I've ever seen Zen Mode Darmanitan in PokeMMO. Can you even sell them on the GTL? How do they stay in that form? Like, I have genuinely no idea. All right, this is a perfect time for you learn something new every single day in PokeMMO. So the statues should be over here. Yeah, I think they also refresh every so often. I'm just going to try to give it a rage candy bar, encounter it. Is this going to be in Zen mode? No, it's just a normal Darmanitan. So I don't know how to get a Zen mode Darmanitan. Isn't Zen like a gift mon? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this guy was just trolling with the redemption request. I'm going to catch all these Darmanitans. Half HP. It like transforms. Ah, well, there you go. So it's like Darmanitan just with, oh, it can't be put to sleep. With like, a certain ability? Is that how it works? Let's check. Is it just a Darmanitan with a certain ability? Is that what it comes down to? I'm just gonna like Ultra Ball this. Gotcha. So these are hidden ability Darmanitan. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool, honestly. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Hey, you learned something new. There you go. Hidden ability Darmanitans. Let's just catch them all. Why not? That's cool. Is this shuntable? That is actually really interesting. The idea of like specifically going for a Darmanitan with hidden ability access as a shiny. Well, I guess, well, to be fair, what you could do is you could just go ×3 horde. What you could do is hunt a Darmanitan normally and then use prismatic pearls. So you could give any Shiny Darmanitan Zen mode hidden ability with a normal one and prismatic pearls. So yeah, but that's pretty interesting. That's neat. You don't think about this very much, I feel like, you know? All right, the Shuckles hatch. Let's check them. This one's hasty. That's not usable. This one's rash. Not usable. That's okay. We'll have to rebreed them for natures, but it shouldn't be too expensive. Okay, the cool thing about having to rebreed these for natures is that I literally only need I essentially only need a 1x31. I'm gonna go like relaxed or something. I like bold. We'll see whatever's the cheapest essentially, but I essentially only need a 1x31 with correct nature. That's because I can brace the defense IV on them, or the HP IV. Can brace one of the IVs, and then just Everstone on the so there's 3,400. That's so cheap. We can go to pick that up. We can just pick both these up and go double bold. I like that. 4K, like that is actually ridiculously cheap. Let's go grab those breeders. All right, this should be what the final breeds look like for those interested in these two Shuckles. Should look like this. 31, 31, 27, bold nature. Don't have to worry about gender. Next one. 31, 31, 27, 28, bold nature. Perfect. If one of these came out shiny, that would be a dream come true. This is a cool breed that someone sent me for a Twitch reward. He's trying to get, or he is getting successfully, head smash onto an Archon. It's a tough one, dude. You have to like breed with a Corsola or whatever. You may have to do some other weird, it might be a chain egg breed, but I did this at one point and I remember it being a pain in the butt. This is a phenomenal Archon, dude. You killed this. This is a really cool Pokemon. Kind of underrated, but also kind of bad. Dude, great Pokemon breed. Oh man, that was the Audino hatch, guys. That was the last egg. Unfortunately, dude, it was not in the eggs again. I am out of eggs. It was confirmed not in the eggs, fellas. It just sucks. Like you know it in the back of your head, but it just sucks to realize, oh, I actually am just this dry. I actually am just 62,700 encounters dry, which, once again, isn't the worst thing in the world. I could be drier, but damn, this has been a long hunt, and I'm excited for this to be over with, man. Alrighty, and with this is the last Twitch reward of the day. We sent out a bunch of really cool Pokemon today. Some like 2x31 Delibirds, Smeargles, Porygons. That was Archon was a cool one. Almost bred an Alpha Tyranitar. 2 fantastic competitive Shuckles. Those were honestly a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun, those Twitch rewards. Thank you guys for watching and always redeeming your points. 110 people is the most I've seen in a PokeMMO stream. Yeah, I mean, yeah, these numbers today are honestly really good for this time of year. So a lot of people have been kind of saying / noticing like, oh, PokeMMO's dying, or PokeMMO, you know, all my friends are quitting, or I've noticed all these people like not logging in. And that's very normal. So for those who don't know, this is what's called post-event season burnout. So essentially, event season runs from like preparing for event season runs from like, I want to say August. Let's check my calendar. How do I zoom out in the calendar? But like event season essentially runs from like August all the way to like February, right? If not even like March. And then after that, people have been gaming 10 hours a day or so for like 6 months. Like they're exhausted. They're burnt out from all the events because you have the Halloween event in October, you have the Christmas event in December, and then you have the Lunar New Year event in late January / February. So everybody's super tired. Also, just all the holidays in general. So not even almost every single year in PokeMMO, you see a huge dip in population, and a lot of people take a huge break from the game between like March to June-ish, March to May-ish, and then once June / July hits, once summer hits, summer is the other, like, there's like 2 hotspots for PokeMMO. There's summer and then event season. Summer is huge for PokeMMO because just school is out, teachers are off, college students, like, you'd be surprised how many people in the world are just either a teacher or a student in some capacity. So a ton of people get off in the summer. And yeah, so summer's really good in PokeMMO, and so I'm kind of addressing that that concern of like, oh, the player base is dipping and all these things. This happens every year. I even reported on it last year, showing the data on MMO stats. Don't be panicked. Don't be afraid. You know, if it continues to drop until like June, July, or we can have a conversation. But until then, this is pretty normal. We see it every year. Here, this is actually a great opportunity to help someone learn breeding. So someone in chat said, hey, I have a 2x31 Nidoqueen that is 31 attack and 31 special defense. Can you help me price check it, right? So what I would recommend, this is a perfect opportunity to learn breeding if you're open to it and you have some Pokeyen. So what I would do is I would take that Nidoqueen you have, right? That Nidoqueen that you have right now, you could sell it for 22k, right? And be done with it. Or you could buy a breeder for it that, let's say, has 31 HP. Let's try this. Let's try to find a cheaper one. Maybe 31 speed. Well, that might be more expensive. No, that's actually I would recommend buying this Charmander. It's going to cost you 38k. And then you're also going to buy 2 braces. So that's going to cost you 20k. So you're paying 58k, and then you're going to pay 5k to make it male in the breed as well. That's really important. And then you're going to end up with a Pokemon that looks like this. So you're spending 63k plus your expected profit of 22k. So a total cost of 85k, right? Now, if you spend 85k, you can make a Pokemon that is worth 100k. And then there's going to be a little bit of a listing fee on that. So you're probably only making like 10k or so, honestly, on this breed. But 10k profit just for breeding a Pokemon is pretty good. And you also have chance to roll a random nature. So let's say you randomly roll Adamant on this, for example. Well, now you have a Pokemon that's worth 150k. So you went from 10k profit to now you have 65k profit. What if you go like Jolly, for example? Jolly's similar situation. Now you go from 10k profit to 60k profit, right? But if I sell it now, I'll earn 22k. Yes, there's no wrong answer. Like, as a new player, it's up to you. If you have like the 70k Pokeyen and you want to spend that to make it worth more, you can. If you want to push that off for later, you can also do that. If you want to save that Mon to breed later, you can do that. If you want to sell it now for 22k, there really is no wrong answer. Learn breeding in PokeMMO whenever you have the number one energy to do so and Pokeyen to spare, because breeding is really important to learn. It is one of the most important skills. One of the number one mistakes that I made in PokeMMO was pushing off learning breeding. But it's also intimidating. It's kind of a pain to learn, so I get pushing it off. Yeah, I think that's super fair. Hopefully that, like me explaining this, just gives you the information so that you can pick whichever one you want to pick. There's no wrong answer. That was just a good opportunity to hopefully teach somebody else out there about the value of breeding. Yeah, Shiny Nick pretty much nailed the current market. It's odd in the marketplace right now. Catching shitmons like Dittos, male field, male monster boxes is a great way of making money right now, because 1 times 31 IV Pokemon are at their lowest, like all-time low. I feel like a lot of new players are catching Pokemon for profit right now. There's not as many people who need good IV Pokemons because there are no raids right now. A lot of people are not playing the game. There's just not as much demand currently for good IV Pokemon, but that demand will return with summertime, anniversary event, raids, etc. So breeding for profit is way better right now than catching Pokemon, generally is the rule. But still, catching like Dittos or good base value Pokemon can be decent right now. If the anniversary event happens, it'll be my first event. Any preparations you recommend to make the most of it? I'll do a prep guide most likely once we get closer to it possibly happening. The number one thing, I really can't encourage or recommend this enough, the most money to be made during an event is within the first 1 to 3 hours. That is really, like, the first couple hours of the event is where so much of the money is. Now, events are almost never bad. They're almost always good to do. But an example that I always give is when the first anniversary event dropped, I made 1.2 million Pokeyen by selling off the anniversary chests or like the random event stuff within the first hour of the event. And then I think I made like another, I think I made like 1.9 mil the first hour and 1.2 mil the second. And then by the third hour, I was only making like 400 to 600k, and then it dropped and dropped. Like, it just kind of drops over time, but those first couple hours are ridiculous Pokeyen per hour. So making sure to be there and like selling the Xmas presents, anniversary, like just playing the event and getting whatever the thing is, and then selling those boxes or vanities or whatever. Being there like on the fly is super important. So what I'm hearing is buy 1 times 31 Pokemon IVs right now while they're cheap, and then sell a month after. I wouldn't necessarily do that because I think the margins are too slim. Because if it's a cheap 1 times 31 IV right now, it might be like 4k versus they may be like 8 to 10k. So like the margins are kind of slim with like listing fees and stuff. What I would recommend and encourage every Pokemon player to do right now is breed whatever Pokemon you need. Breed raid Pokemon. Right now it's the cheapest time ever to breed up PvP teams. breed up PVM Pokemon, breed up raid Pokemon, make a gym rerun team. Like, it is cheaper than ever in this current period to be an actual player and to collect and acquire all of these Pokemon, all these good IV Pokemon. It is a great idea right now to breed raid Metagrosses, breed Tyrannotars, breed whatever you need, Scythers, Scizors, Garchomps, Rotoms, like just breed any good Pokemon pretty much. And if you want to make an investment thing, I would just breed a bunch of good PvP comps now and then save those for a few months, or raid Pokemon. I've made a bunch of videos. I made a video called top 10 Pokemon to make to prep for raids. I would check that out. Any of those will be pretty flawless, I'd say. All right, on that note, at 62,801 encounters, I'm going to go ahead and call it, guys. I have some exporting and like kind of file work and desk work to do. Thank you guys for watching. A 4-hour stream on a Thursday. Twitch rewards, storyline progress, some more shiny hunting. I'm going to hold off on popping a donor status until next Monday, and we'll do a lot more shunting next week. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. I can't recommend you enough. It helps me so much. So if you did like it, remember to like it. If you didn't like it, feel free to dislike it. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I upload every single day. Twitch streams are Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo donations do allow me to do this amount of content. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you all later. Peace, Reno. Hey, thanks so much for watching the entire video all the way to the end. I really appreciate that, and I hope it was a positive asset to your day. And I also want to quickly say extra thank you to everybody whose name is on this list and goes above and beyond and allows me to do what I do. Thank you very much. Have a good one.